so I kept come from a middle class family. My everyone in the family is working within government jobs, and that was the kind of scenario. No one is into business, so that feeling was never there. Even in college, we never used to talk, or we never used to think about starting up something. So that was the case, and that is so the only outcome was to get a good job. And but it helped me a lot, because what happens in corporate is that you learn a lot. You basically understand how processes work, what is the important of processes, how structure has to be created. My friend, my co-founder, who is a friend of mine from college, so he was my wingmate since 2009. So we thought that we used to meet a lot when I was in Bombay, and that's when we thought that let's build a good company, let's build a good product from India. And then in August 2020, we started on a journey of entrepreneurship.
Hi everyone, I hope you are doing very well. This is another episode in the Startup Talks with Harshita, and today we have Ankit Agarwal with us, the founder of Topmate. And it would be a great conversation ahead, knowing about how Ankit started and his series of startups along the way. So, hi Ankit, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Hi, everyone. This is Ankit. I'm the co-founder of Topmate.io. Thank you, Harshita. Thank you for having me here and giving me this opportunity to tell people about the story or the journey from my side and how Topmate came into picture.
Right. So, let's start with a brief introduction of yours. I would love to know more about how's your journey looks like, especially from the school and the college times, and then we can actually start ahead with the conversation of Topmate.
Definitely. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So, I'm originally from Jaipur, did my schooling and everything from there. So, after 12th, I dropped for 1 year to prepare for JEE exam. And that's when I went to Kota. So, that was a very good experience. First time outside home, very young. So, one of my friends was there with me. So, we used to be roommates, and that kind of helped me in the journey, obviously, because Kota is very, a bit competitive, bit lonely sometimes, especially for young kids. So that was that, and then I joined IIT Bombay. I was there for about for 4 years. So passed out in 2012, and obviously IIT has been the best blessing that anyone can ask for. Not in terms of the institute, but in terms of the people that you get to meet there, especially in the kind of friends that you make, the kind of life that you live there, and the kind of learnings that you get by observing others, by interacting with others. So that has been really amazing. I had friends from every city in the India, and the kind of perspective that they give us in terms of different things. They come from very different backgrounds, and the kind of things that you learn from them is just amazing. So then after my IIT, I joined Schlumberger. It was an oil and gas services company. I always wanted to get into that company. That was one of the dream company that I had in mind when I was going for placement, because in terms of the kind of companies or the class A companies that used to come, that was the only company that I could go for. Otherwise, they were all consulting companies, McKinsey's, BCG's, so not made for those kind of scenarios. So I knew that either it could be Schlumberger or I'll have to wait for some time to crack any other company. So fortunately, I got a chance to get into Schlumberger. No. So it was an oil and gas services company. It was a purely oil and gas engineering job. So at that point of time, there was no concept of coding. So I passed out from civil engineering. I did my graduate engineering from BTech from civil engineering. So there was no concept, and there was no. I think at that point of time, the industry was also not like that. That it was all about coding, development, software engineering. That time,
it was diverse.
Core engineering. Yeah, very diversified. Many people used to go into investment banking, consulting or investment banking used to be the biggest jobs. There were very few companies. Obviously, Google, Facebook, Microsoft was always there, and Amazon. So no denying that. But most of the people used to go into these kind of jobs. If you're not from a computer science background.
Right.
So yeah. So my posting was in Iraq. My first posting was in Iraq, and that has been the best experience anyone could ask for, I think. And in terms of the experience, in terms of the exposure, the kind of people I got to meet there, obviously, kind of helped me in shaping who I am right now. Because I made friends from all over the world. Schlumberger was a true MNC in that form that every location used to have at least 20-25 nationalities being represented by the employees, and that kind of gave us, I mean, different kind of perspective, different kind of exposure, different kind of friends, and whatnot. And I got to learn about how people think in different geographies, different nationalities, what is their mode of living, what do they do, and that was really amazing. So I was there for about 2.5 years, but then in India, the startup wave was coming up. So housing, Tiny Owl, a lot of my friends were doing these startups. A lot of my friends were into these startups, working in either core teams or as co-founders, and that kind of inspired me to do something like that. And that's when me and some of my friends from college, we started a company called Pregrab. So that was into the space of second-hand products, e-commerce marketplace. We ran that for about 1.5 years. Learned a lot about how startup world. I was a completely noob about that kind of a scenario. I didn't know anything about how things work, how companies should be evolved, should be created. That was a very good learning experience, but unfortunately, it didn't work out very well as a company, and we had to shut it down after close to 1.5 years. But there was always this zeal of having something of my own. I always wanted that, especially after that failure. That kind of feeling got strengthened a lot. That I have to have something of my own. I have to create a good product. I have to build something which is meaningful, which is helpful to others. So the idea was to learn more. So that's when I joined a company called House-Centric. It was a management consulting firm based out of India. The idea was to get into consulting because I wanted to learn about how different companies function, how they solve their problems, how different industries, when they face some issue, how they kind of solve it. To basically make myself more prepared for the next venture whenever I get into that. So that was the motive. I spent 3.5 years there. It was the best experience anyone could ask for in terms of responsibilities, in terms of ownership, in terms of friends that I make, in terms of work culture. So I think that was like extremely amazing. The founders was like out of the world, I would say. The kind of responsibilities, the kind of trust they showed in me, being so young. I was kind of the youngest in the team, and even though they gave me so much responsibility and they trusted me with a lot of things. They made me a part of the core team. They let me handle some of the things single-handedly. So that was a really amazing experience, and I got to learn. I learned a lot from them, both the outside world, obviously how companies perform the business, and the inside also, how employees should be taken care of, how to build a culture within the company so that everyone is happy, everyone can give their best, and basically think in the same direction, which is the better of the company, which is to improve the company. So I spent 3.5 years there, and then the idea was, I thought that I am ready to do something as COVID came, and then my friend, my co-founder, who is a friend of mine from college, so he was my wingmate since 2009. So we thought that we used to meet a lot when I was in Bombay, and that's when we thought that let's build a good company, let's build a good product from India. And then in August 2020, we started on a journey of entrepreneurship.
Right. Amazing. So it has been a mixed journey of starting something of your own and obviously going for a job, because no
Yes.
one can deny that, like, you learn a lot in a job if it's a good company, if it's a good team.
Oh, definitely.
You learn everything around the industry for that, because obviously to build company of your own, you should know how a company actually works, and that
Absolutely.
that can't be actually done while just starting off your own and not knowing specifically about that. So I would love to know from you that as you just told that once you were working with a company, then you started up and then again you joined the company. So do you think that experience has added a lot to your startup journey now versus if you have just started up out of the college, it would have been different?
I mean, obviously, so both the things could happen. So there are success stories in both direction, I would say. So people who have worked in a corporate setup or with someone else, and then they have started up and they are successful. And there are people who just started right out of college and they are also successful. So both the things have their pros and cons. Sometimes you have a very blank slate when you just pass out from college. So probably you are not stereotyping things, or you are not bogged down by some things, how things work. So, and then this helps you to basically create something unique. So that perspective is always there, that you have a fresh mind, you can create something absolutely unique because you are not influenced by certain things that have happened before. So obviously for some it might work, but for me, I come from a middle class family. My everyone in the family is working within government jobs, and that was the kind of scenario. No one is into business, so that feeling was never there. Even in college, we never used to talk, or we never used to think about starting up something. So that was the case, and that is so the only outcome was to get a good job. And but it helped me a lot, because what happens in corporate is that you learn a lot. You basically understand how processes work, what is the importance of processes, how structure has to be created. So that helps you a lot. And then whenever you go into a corporate structure right from out of college, the learning program is very structured in those companies, L&D, training. So you get access to a lot of these modules, a lot of these trainings, which help you to learn different things about how processes work, how teams work, how teams interact with each other. And then obviously that failed startup obviously helped, because you kind of learn from your mistakes, like everyone says. And we made a lot of mistakes, but I knew next time that I don't have to make those mistakes. So that was the major case, I think. So the experience was, it obviously has helped me. Every experience that I've gone through, every person I've met, every story that I've listened to, that has helped me in creating what we are today. So, and it will keep evolving. So we still make some mistakes within Topmate.io, and sometimes when we make mistakes, we learn from them and we improve them. And next time we probably avoid those mistakes, but something else will come. So that is a continuous journey. And so my habit is that wherever you are, just keep learning, just keep identifying what is to learn, and then things will keep happening in a good manner.
Keep identifying what to learn next about.
Yes.
Right. So, okay, finally going with the question that why you started Topmate. What was your one main reason that actually urged you to start Topmate, and what is that problem that you think it is getting solved by the same?
Yeah. So when we started, me and Dinesh, when we started in August 2020, we actually started a company called Betty App, and it was in the space of social media, where people could take part in small challenges and submit their entries in the form of short video format, and basically challenge each other. There were funny challenges, there were some skill-based challenges. That was the idea, that was the concept that we wanted to build. But then we started with rapping. But what happened was, in social media, it was difficult for us to understand, and that's when we had to shut it off within 6-7 months. But during that journey, we wanted to speak to a lot of successful social media founders from India. Someone from ShareChat, someone from Roposo, someone from Takatak. And we used to read or go through a lot of videos into the knowledge economy space, that what is a product market fit, how to scale a company, what is 0 to 10 journey, what is 10 to 100 journey, and all of these things. And during that time, what we realized is that when we wanted to talk to these successful social media founders, it took us 1.5 months to actually reach out to them, because I had to speak with someone, they had to introduce me to someone, and then it took a lot of time. At the same time, when we used to watch these videos, read blogs and these editorials, we realized that a lot of people are looking to connect with the person who has either uploaded the video or written that blog, because they want to understand something from them. And same thing happened with us, that if we could have spoken with them quickly, probably we could have avoided those mistakes. So that 1.5 months that has passed to actually get in touch with them has made us delayed in something that we could have avoided. So we thought that this is a good problem to solve. Maybe when we thought, let's pivot to a new idea, we thought that this is a good problem to solve, and that's when we started researching about it. And then we focused especially in the LinkedIn sector, because LinkedIn as a social media platform, because we realized that knowledge economy is majorly focused on this platform. And while talking to a lot of different profiles, different professionals, we realized that these people continue to receive a lot of messages from their network, from their extended network, to get some kind of guidance, to get some kind of advice. And it can be related to their domain, it can be related to how someone would want to become someone like them, and so many other things. And it can be about career guidance, mentoring, how to get into industry, how to switch industry, and so many things. So we realized that this is a good problem to solve, but as an individual, when they don't have a team, they were not able to manage these requests, and in this process a lot of genuine requests gets missed out. So then we thought that Topmate as a tool would be very helpful for them. So what the idea is that Topmate as a tool empowers these professionals to manage these requests in a very seamless manner and let anyone else reach out to them for a personalized interaction. So that was the idea. So that's how we created it. So this is something like a Shopify for individuals who start their own business, to share their knowledge, to control the way they share their time, and at the same time being able to monetize their knowledge, monetize their time.
Okay, right. Got the basic concept. So, talking more about it, like how does the Topmate work, and then like if an individual just want to go for like reach out to anybody, so how would that help? Maybe channelize their process to go ahead with the same.
Yeah. So one thing is that we don't target individuals who are seeking advice. So we don't guarantee someone that you will be able to find them. The idea is that this is a website, consider it as your own page. So whosoever is looking to share knowledge with the world, whosoever wants to control the way they share their time, let people reach out to them, it is for those guys. So this is like their own tool which they can set up. They can customize every aspect of it, and they can control the way people are reaching out to them. So this is designed for professionals, experts, to basically start their consulting business, so to say, or let people speak with them, get their guidance, and at the same time they're able to monetize that piece.
Got it. Okay, so talking about team building, so how you started actually with the team, and now did you hire someone, or you are just going ahead with one or two co-founders, or how does the team structure looks like?
Yeah, so we are currently a team of 10 people, and they basically manage different things. So there's someone who manages product, there's someone who manages tech part, and tech also has different aspects: the back end, front end, design, analytics, QA. Then I handle business. There's a colleague of mine, so we both handle business. So we have different roles that we have created, because we feel that, or we understand that to create a good company, there are different things that you need to tackle, and you need experts in that area, so that they are able to tackle those things, and we create a very synergetic platform, a very common platform for others. So the team, we are a team of 10 people right now, and initially we used to work. So when we started off, me and my co-founder, we used to work with freelancers basically to get certain things done. But while starting up Topmate, we were very sure that we needed a designer in the team. So that's when we hire a designer. So initially we were 3 people. So me, Dinesh, and Pavanpreet, who is our designer, who takes care of the UI UX piece. So basically we 3 were there, and then slowly we, depending on the requirement, depending on how the team is evolving, depending on how the product is evolving, we keep hiring people, we keep asking people to join us in this journey.
Right. So how did you find those right set of people to join your startup? Because like I wanted to know that why actually people join startups, and like small startups that are just evolving. And I know there can be a great learning, and that growth curve can be there. But still, from your perspective of how that work, and like how did you find the right set of people for your business, for your company team?
Yeah. So one thing is, obviously, since we have worked along, so our experience is, like me and my co-founder, both Dinesh's experience is more than 10 years now. So we have worked with a lot of different set of people throughout our career. So that networking always helps to basically hire people, to get them on board. So obviously a lot of our folks within the company currently who are working as a part of the Topmate team, they are somewhere known before. So we knew them before. So network obviously helps in time of onboarding people. Then the second part is that why people join such a small stage startup or something. Obviously, so certain people, so this is very subjective in a sense that people want something impactful to be done. So what happens in a small company is that the kind of work that you makes a lot of impact because you own a large piece of it and you completely devote yourself on improving something. So that is one aspect of it. Then obviously the growth piece, like you mentioned, the opportunity to grow in a small company is much higher than being in a corporate company. So suppose someone joins an Unilever today, I don't know whether they would be able to reach to that level in 10 years, what they could have done in some small company. So it's more about that, the kind of risk that you take, the kind of reward you can expect to earn. So the more the risk, the more the reward, potential of the reward actually. So that's why people join a small company. And then obviously these days, there are a lot of opportunities that are available in the world. So even though you do something, but things might fail. So I'm not saying that Topmate cannot fail. It can fail, but at the same time, if we have put in enough effort and if we have put in a decent amount of effort, we have tried a lot of things. So that gives us a lot of learning, which is something that we can use in the next set of challenges that we take in our career. So that helps. So being in a small scale, a small company where you can make a lot of impact, let you learn a lot. The opportunity to learn is high because one thing is it's very fast paced. So you keep changing things, you keep identifying new things to do, so that your startup becomes a successful story. Becomes a success story. So you keep trying a lot of things, and that trying is very easier in a small scale, in a small company where the setup is small and there are not difficult processes to overcome.
Right. Got it. So, okay, talking about some more things, I want to know that do you remember any of the mistakes that you have done in the initial days of Topmate versus now? You realize that these are the mistakes that have been like I have done, and that can be obviously a learning over the time. But some of them, if you want to highlight.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously, so initially when we started off, we used to focus on a lot of different categories. So we were talking to astrologers, doctors, mental health experts, soft skill trainer, career guidance, mentorship, mentors, experts, everyone. Now, being a small team, it is very difficult to focus on one specific category. And so if we keep expanding horizontally, the learnings would be very limited because say suppose if we have 100 users and they are divided between 10 different categories, so 10 users per category, that means the learning is very limited. But if we have 70 users, but predominantly say suppose 60 of them are in one category, so that category learning is very enhanced that way. So that is one mistake that we did initially, but we actually rectified it within 1-2 months of launching. So we actually started focusing on this tech industry where the demand is very high. A lot of people would want to get into that industry. So we started focusing on that. Then obviously the second piece is that initially we were and it also happens because you do not have that much of a data in the early stages of the company. So we used to rely a lot on our intuition that, okay, we are thinking this might be good. Let's focus on this, let's build this. But now we have started focusing a lot on data, that whatever kind of insights that we are getting by the user behavior, whatever is the kind of behavior pattern that we are able to see, we decide things based on that and not just through intuition or our experience, because our experience is limited. Even though we have such a huge experience, everyone in the team have a very vast experience, but still it's limited in some sense because we haven't worked in the similar industry or the same industry before. So the reliance on objective things in terms of data, taking decisions based on data is something that we made a mistake initially, but now we are slowly rectifying it and moving completely towards that kind of an approach, that kind of a mentality.
Got it. Right. So, talking about all of these in a nutshell, as my last question, I would love to discuss with you, like if someone has to start up today and he or she is confused with the idea or how to actually start up with the same. So how would you advise them to start up or go with the process, and maybe some top 5 learnings that you can help them start with actually starting up? So what can be that?
Yeah. So I think the first is that don't trust your idea blindly. Be very open to get the negative feedback and do a lot of research. talk to a lot of people about your idea. Don't be shy in sharing your idea, because that helps you to refine the idea. So what happens is that what you think is very limited, but then you will talk to some other one, you discuss this your idea with someone else, and they will give you a different perspective. They will tell you that this is not the problem that is actually being faced by a large number of people. So that is obviously one thing. And then do a lot of research, create a kind of persona of the potential user that you see in your mind, that okay, this is being used, this will be used by these kind of people or these kind of users. So for example, if you are building a toy company, so you need to talk to a lot of kids basically to understand that whether they will be using something like that. You need to talk to a lot of parents, because parents are eventually the people who will buy those toys for their kids. So would they want something like that, and how much brand is ingrained in their mind, different things. So that is very important. The research piece is very important. And then obviously don't rely on intuition. Try to objectify things as much as possible. So for example, if you have an idea, maybe try it on 100 people, and then if you don't get enough learnings, try it on, talk to some other additional 100 people. So when you talk to these 200 people, you will start getting, or you will start visualizing some kind of a trend in those conversations, which will give you a very good insight about it. And then read a lot of books. I think that is one thing that we miss. Do read a lot of books, because books are very good way of learning what others did, good or bad, both. So that way you learn a lot, and you kind of avoid those mistakes. You adopt the best practices. Keep listening to these stories, a podcast maybe, to basically learn the experiences of others and learn from that. So yeah. So initially, obviously, and then so there's a book called 24 Steps to Entrepreneurship. That is a very good book that helps you to structurally move towards how to identify an idea, how to validate your idea, how to talk to users, what is the kind of research that you need to do, and then how to launch MVP, how to launch a product, and all of these things. So that book is very good. I read that book while I was preparing for Topmate, which helped me a lot to kind of design it in the correct manner.
Got it. Great. So thank you so much, Ankit, for sharing your experiences with us. It was like a very, very good conversation. I got to know many things about the mindset you have. And obviously, after getting graduated from IIT Bombay and then carving your own path, it has been an amazing journey for you. So thanks a lot for sharing that with us. And I hope you enjoyed this conversation too.
Definitely, a lot. Thank you, Harshita, for giving me this opportunity first of all, to be able to share this, and I hope if it is beneficial to even one or two people, that is amazing. Thank you.
Great. Thanks a lot, and all the best to you for Topmate.
Thank you.
Thank you.